actually my day off, but I wanted to come in. It's early. I needed to ship the store so George doesn't have to, just so it's one less thing for him to do. And also we're expecting something, and I'm really excited. I'm anticipating it, so I wanted to see it firsthand. Okay, so I'm heading to a Honda dealership to pick up some MotoCompactos. They just called me. If you've had a hard time getting one, if you're sick of dealing with some guy on Marketplace that most likely doesn't have one, or the guy on eBay that marks it up, or the guy that sells you a model MotoCompacto and he tells you it's a full-size one. If you're sick of all that, get a hold of me. So I'm gonna take the snooty Sunpass lane. I wonder what that guy's carrying. That means that you just go through here at full speed and you try not to hit anything on the way through. The faster you can go through here, by the way, the more they appreciate it. If you can go through there doing 95, usually they'll give you a thumbs up. The cruise ship comes from this direction. We've been out of the port of Tampa a few times on the cruise ship, and it's really cool to be on the top deck and go under this bridge. You can see the bottom of the bridge so close, and I think there's only something like 8 feet clearance or something like that, they say, and it looks very, very close. Looks like you're gonna hit it. This is the peak of the bridge right now. If you're wondering if you can fit five MotoCompactos in the back of a Colorado, I did get stuck in a bunch of traffic. 4 motors on the back. That is Tropicana Stadium, or the Trop as is known. That used to have a roof on it that got blown off during the last hurricane.
That, do you?
No, we had to literally grease them and slide them in. That gap there is smaller than a MotoCompacto.
Great.
It helps.
Yeah.
That game helps. So I have to put that seat forward. Fresh from anodizing. Look, I can't wait. We're gonna test fit it just to be 100% sure. This was the first 3D prototype. That's why we put it up on the wall. That was the date when we first came up with this. This is the last one. And then that is just a variation in a different material, but that is it. That was the final prototype. So now we've got room on that line. So we've offset this slightly so we have room, because this was always the line that we would have issues with since building the very first one in 1999. Can you believe that? There's a strut bar we can check. This is a good old New Speed reinforcement wall all the way down here. This is to help brace it. So this one is pretty much the same stiffness as the billet one, which is this right here. But of course it's designed so we can put a strut bar on there. That is fantastic. This is the analysis using the software for the different materials right there, and that shows the deflection. So there's a couple on there that are basically the knockoff of ours. There's a couple of people selling it, which I guess I should be flattered, because it works very well. Figured we'd show you what the master cylinder brace does. The reason for this is to keep steady pressure against that master, because this whole master flexes under heavy braking. You can actually see there how much that moves. You see that? That's George pressing on the brakes right there. That's a ton of movement. That's a lot more than any braided steel lines would do. So basically what this does is once it's installed tight, it just keeps steady pressure against this. Now you got basically the strength of that rod and this whole brace taking up that load. It stops that movement. Makes a massive difference. One of the most noticeable differences you can make. Takes you 10 minutes to install it. So keep in mind, when I sell you one of our LHT products, it's something I would buy myself. That's not just a slogan, it really is. For instance, our cup holder, there's a lot of variations of this plastic on the market, and then there's the one that Modify used to make that had the piece that slipped in there and had a quick release. Well, I found over the years some of those would fall off. So that's one of the reasons ours is bolted. Plus it has 2 positions. But I bought some of these because I found them on sale. And I'll be honest with you, when I find something, I look and I buy the cheap one, the mid one, the expensive one, because sometimes it's all the same. So many times it's not. So many people will sell the cheap version, but they'll put a picture of the good product. For instance, go on Amazon or Alibaba, one of those, and a lot of companies will show you a picture of a DJI drone and they'll have a price of 126 bucks. Even though on DJI's website, it's 1,000. It's not the same drone, it's just the same picture. This is the same thing. I found one of these because we have to buy a lot of these. Well, I found one for $6 and it looks exactly the same. I get it out of the box and it was immediately cheesy. The plastic was weak. You did this a couple of times and it would stick. This doesn't. I mean, I've abused this one. I mean, look at it. You know, it's not going to break. Obviously, you can sit in it, you're going to break it, but it's not the cheesy one. I've seen these anywhere from $5 up to 30. We buy the most expensive one, and it shows. I mean, you can do this. It doesn't stick. It doesn't bind. You know, you get what you pay for. Sometimes you've got to stay away from the copy of a copy of a copy of a copy. This is the reason why it's so cheap. I finally went home. I was at home on the couch. It was 3:30. My wife just went to go visit some family. So basically sitting there with nothing to do. It's unbelievable. I used to have so much time on my hands. Now when I do have time to myself, I don't know what to do. Anyway, after about 30 seconds of sitting there with nothing to do, my machine shop guy called me and said the flywheel that I dropped off to have surfaced and balanced, one of the pins, you have to pull the pins out to surface the friction surface and the mounting surface. One of the pins broke off flush with the flywheel. You might have recognized this road. I always try and share this stuff with you, so if you follow LHT and you follow me, you kind of feel like you're a part of what I'm doing. This is Quake Estate over here. It is Wednesday and it's been raining all day, so there's not a whole lot going on. If the weather is good, that place will be packed tomorrow, and I will be there with some of my buddies there, chit-chatting, talking about cars. Okay, flywheel is done. Everything went good. The pin had to be machined just a little bit, but it's good. Went back together fine, and it bounces out nice. So now it's my day off. It's 4:53. If you don't believe me, just in case you don't believe, 4:53. Now I'm off work. I'm gonna go home, relax. I'll be back tomorrow. You can see the video on Jeff's Integra. This is the ECU that I sent out to have fixed. I basically loaned in the one out by CRX. I'm doing this one-handed, so if I slip and cut my hand, it's your guys' fault for watching. So anyway, Numis fixed it. He sent this back, and I sent him another one at the same time. We had an extra ECU that I said, hey, can you go ahead and put S300 in that too? So one of these is the one out of Jeff's car, which I'm either going to switch back. There it is. That's the one he fixed. And this was done by Faribault 18 years ago, and I had John put S300 in it. But apparently that chip, that C101, whatever, anyway, that one quit. And John didn't have one. And Numis has helped me out before, so I wanted to send it to him and give him a little bit of love. Hopefully I'm not botching your name up. Numis? Anyway, thank you, buddy. I still got to send him payment. He just sent me the ECUs. We do have MotoCompacto letters. We have purple, we have black, we have red, we have pink, and we do have more MotoCompactos. I do have more MotoCompactos in stock. I have a few more at the other shop too. Hit me up and come by and pick one up. They're brand new, sealed in the box. I have, I think, 11 of them right now. You know, talking to Jeff, that's his motor right now. There was a guy looking to come and pick it up, but he couldn't get transport. Anyway, if you want it, it's a 89,000 mile LS motor, transmission, ECU, shift linkage, everything on there except the wiring harness, and you saw it in the video. It does have a fairly new clutch, timing belt, water pump that we put on a year ago. I think Jeff wants $1,500 for it, which is an absolute steal. Hit him up, Jawbreaker19 on Instagram. The final master cylinder brace. This is the Strut bar friendly version, our latest design. We've had a lot of time and effort into this. The reason for this is the thickness here, so we can get a strut bar on the S2000. A lot of people want to put a strut bar on there, and we wanted to keep the rigidity. Well, the old one was high carbon steel, but it was this thickness all the way through, and it was not as stiff as the regular billet one. So we did some software analysis, and we did it a few different ways. Well, one, just to see a major difference, was to attach the hardware, mount this, and place 50 pounds on here, just so we could see the flex this way. Obviously, all the forces are not going that direction. It's a compression force, but we just wanted to see different materials, different thicknesses, different designs, because there's so much design gone into this. You see right here, so a couple of prototypes. This is what is so cool. You go from an idea to a rough sketch, to a computer drawing, to a 3D model to a final billet piece. And it's very cool. It's like very fulfilling part of the job. And of course, we can bring things to you that I buy myself and I use. So this was the last final. We have probably about 8 of these. This was to get the perfect shape, the perfect fitment. You see there. This was one that we had. And of course, to get the clearances, this wasn't as stiff. The wall here isn't as big. We have more material right here. But this is it. This is fantastic. I'm so excited about this piece. So it fits with a strut bar with any type of coilovers. Our billet version is obviously thicker than this, and the bolts or the nuts pocket down here. So you're limited to running the factory size nuts. Some of the aftermarket coilovers have like a really big 17 or even an 18 millimeter nut. If you run the factory ones on our billet one, it fits. This you can put any. You can put a nut all the way out to here. But there it is, guys. It's in the store now. 5 months in the making for this, and we have plenty of them in stock, and it all includes the new hardware right here. That's it. That's how you buy it. I'll put a couple of demonstrations on the screen I did earlier showing you how effective this is. But it's one of those things that you bolt on, you adjust it, you bring this up to touch the master. You don't have to preload it. You can use a 13 on here and put a little bit of preload, but don't put too much because it will cause the brakes to drag if you push the master cylinder towards the firewall. Plus you're putting more energy into there than you need. Bring this up, preload it just half a turn, lock this down. It makes an amazing feel. In the store now, guys. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Don't forget, enjoy your cars.